So Blessed Geza came and said, Zimbabweans, I've got a special message. Let's meet at 2030. People gathered. People were scrambling looking for the links. And when he came out, the major takeaway is he had a long list of names of people that he says, these are the people that are causing the pain and anguish of Zimbabweans. These are the people that are protecting and running around and being used by the president in his dealings. And he says, these are the people that we need to deal with. He goes through these names and provides warnings one by one. Includes the likes of Wikne Uchivayo, Kudata Gwire, politicians. And after that, he said, I'm going to show that I'm a man of action because a lot of you are beginning to think that I'm all talk. In a space of 2 days, there were petrol bombings and cars that were burnt, that were seen at some of the offices of people that were on that list. Now, when this happened, it was not clear whether this was actions of Blessed Geza or those associated with him, or it was actually a ploy by those who are on the side of the president who are trying to show that what Blessed Geza has done by listing people's names is going to be leading to people being attacked and violence being unleashed on private citizens. However, Blessed Geza comes back 2 days back and says, I have shown you Zimbabweans that I'm not just all talk. I am going to be acting. So one can then conclude from that, that the only actions that had been seen within the public space that could lead him to come back and speak about this would be those properties that had been shown that had been destroyed. He is actually claiming that he is part of what has led to that. Whether he has taken part in that action physically himself or through individuals linked to him, no one can really say. Also, it's important that he does not explicitly link himself to that. But looking at the landscape and the things that has happened, that is the major things that had happened and that had made waves that one could relate to what he had just said. Now, secondly, when he comes back the second time around, he says that I have shown that I am not just talk, but I do action. But he then also goes on to say, let's meet on the 31st of March for the demonstrations that we're going to have. He does not go into the detail of how he himself is going to participate in the demonstration, or how exactly by nature these demonstrations are going to take place. However, he is clear that the purpose of these demonstrations are not just to express our discontent about corruption, our discontent about the situation in the country, our discontent with the leadership in the country, but these demonstrations should actually be leading to the removal of President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Now, it's important to note that no people came up from within the opposition space or from different sectors of society to really confidently, who are on the ground, say we are going to be taking part in this. Which leaves one to think and say, is it really because Blessed Geza doesn't have support on the ground, or there's a surprise that is being cooked in the waters? Now, when one is tempted to just say, ignore this, because we don't see a lot of noise of people saying, we are going to the streets, or let's go to the streets. One then says, but why is there so much presence of police and army in the capitals within the country? We've seen police vehicles and public order policing vehicles together with army tanks roaming around Harare, roaming around Gweru, Midlands, Bulawayo, Masvingo, which comes to tell that there is some form of anticipation of possibilities. However, it could just be a deterrence that is being put in place to make sure that people do not take the chances. Now, the proof will be in the pudding. It will be seen on the 31st what really comes back out of it. The other aspect is that Blessed Geza doesn't say the demonstrations are going to be on the 31st and they end there. On the 1st of April, we've forgotten about it. Which makes this to be a more interesting aspect than now to say, what is the play here? What's also very important is that although Blessed Geza says that he supports the Vice President Chiwenga to take over after the removal of President ED, we do not see the Deputy President coming out to claim that position. So it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen.